drop every smile. Nature's more than butterflies. Carry the world 1,000 times, and I'm hopeful that someday you'll see what I more than worthy of molding a nation. Take off your crown on most days, but there's a halo there and it's gonna stay. It'll stay. For everything depends on you, woman. You're more than worthy of molding a nation. And you're more than worthy. I wanna be shining your crown. Do you know you're more than worthy? You're more than beautiful, you're more than powerful.
I am unstoppable.
I am confident. I am limitless.
I am a strong woman. Be proud of you. Be bold. Be brave.
You are enough.
You are valuable.
You are capable.
You are phenomenal. Be you.
You are fabulous.
You are dynamic.
We are worthy.
More than worthy of molding a nation. I wanna be shining your crown. More than worthy of making a nation.
Good evening and welcome to the Women Empowerment Program. I am your host, Ramona Luti, and in studio with me, of course, is my wonderful co-host, Martina Johnson, and our, what do we call her, sound technician? Or DJ, the wonderful, the beautiful Ashwini Sarang. All right, we have a surprise to tell you guys about her later. But, yes, so good night to everyone tuned in. Don't forget to spread the word and invite your neighbors and friends to tune in to Edu FM. You can catch us on 99.7 FM in Georgetown and Anai, 89.9 FM in Ituni, Maruka, and Port Kaituma, 98.9 FM in New Amsterdam, and 99.9 FM in all other areas. Also, you can WhatsApp us any questions, comments, anything you'd like that's positive. Please and thank you. And you can WhatsApp us on 600-8343. That's 600-8343. And you can even join us on the World Wide Web at www.edu.fm. That is EDYOU.fm. Yes, you can also join us on our Facebook Live, where you can see the smiling faces right now. We invite you to join the conversation by commenting. You can find our live on our Edu FM Facebook page, EDYOU FM. You're locked to the Women Empowerment Program, and we're here for the next 2 hours to share information to educate, elevate, and empower all of you listening. And we hope you will pass on the information to others. Martina, how are you?
Good night to all our listeners and, of course, to everyone in the studio here tonight. I'm great. Feeling a lot of energy and the Easter vibes already, as you can see from the floral
yes,
stuff.
Thank you very much for this floral bandeau. I mean, I wouldn't have normally worn it, but yeah, it's nice. I'm feeling the vibes
the
already.
Spirit of the holidays.
So the generic question: how was your weekend?
Busy, very busy.
What did I do this weekend? My weekend was not busy at all. But then again, my weekends are never really busy. So
because on weekends we do all the things that we couldn't do during the week. So we go out with the family. And then my nephew, my husband's nephew, still say my nephew, played his final match. He retired, Leon Johnson.
Oh yes, I saw that on Facebook.
6 titles. Yes.
It was on April Fool's Day. Everybody thought it was a joke.
But it ain't no fooling story. This is true. So yes, he took his 6th title. Yeah, people felt it was a joke and that it wasn't serious because coming in from Friday night with 6-2 runs needed with 9 wickets in hand, people are like, it's impossible. But we have always had a good comeback. We got 6 out of the 8 titles. So, yes. Hey, Leon. Everybody, good night. Yes, great game.
Yeah, that was real nice. I remember there was a back and forth and everyone was saying, oh my, no man, this is a joke. It's April Fool's. Look at the day they decided to do this. Like, yeah.
No, when it comes to the Guyana Harpy Eagles, it's no joke. No matter if it's April Fool's.
All right. So in studio, we have an 11-year-old child.
Our youngest guest ever.
Oh, indeed. Our youngest guest ever.
Yes.
This is really nice. We have an 11-year-old child who has been living in Guyana for the past 2 years. He's a Jamaican. And he recently participated in the Guyana Learning Channel's Whiz Kids competition. And he was given that title of Whiz Kids Champion 2023. So we are proud to have him in studio right now. We also have his dad, who I'm assuming is prouder than we are, Mr. David Prendergast. And our guest, our youngest guest, his name is, we need to get a drum roll effect in this place, right? Like, yeah. Is Mr. Joseph Prendergast.
Woo!
Yep, that's me.
All right. How are you doing, Joseph? How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling very happy right now.
He's feeling 6 feet tall.
How tall are you? He's taller than I am.
6 feet.
No, that is not true.
How tall are you?
I'm pretty sure 5'7".
No, you're taller than that. I'm 5'10". And you're taller than me. Without heels.
I thought it was 5'7".
No, there's
he's
no
taller
way
than
he
that.
could be 5'7". He's not 3 inches taller than I. He's at least a foot taller than I. Yes, we'll just assume he's 5'10".
So is he your tallest guest too? No, his dad is taller. So no.
No, we had no, I'm not sure. Oh, you know who we had? We had Rashana Israel, and she is taller. Remember the artist that came with the natural made products? Yes.
I like having tall people in the studio. I feel nice. All right. So, Joseph, are you ready to tell us all about your journey through Whiz Kids, how it started, and are you ready to share this information with everyone?
You excited to share the information with us? You ready?
Yes.
All right. Well, we're going to get right into it with our first question. We're not going to ask you about the Whiz Kids yet. Your big win on Friday. But let's talk about you. You're now in grade 6. And you already know what you want to become in life. So tell us a bit about what you want to become and why.
So, I either want to become a lawyer or a doctor, which means I'd either have to get a law degree or a medical degree. When I get older, I'd like to study at Harvard University.
All right. Ambitious.
And why have you chosen those 2 fields? Either or, of course.
Because they're good paying jobs and I find the work interesting.
See, we're running out
He's
of
making
money,
sure
right?
he gets his payday.
I can't blame him. Why did you choose Harvard specifically? Or why do you want to go Harvard?
Because both of my parents had attended Harvard and I believe that it is the best school in America.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, you want to go to Mommy and Daddy's alumni. Their alma mater, and you'll be you're gonna come and Daddy studied what?
I did masters in public administration there. at
And
the
what
Kennedy
Mommy
School.
studied?
Masters in public
Same
administration
thing.
and management.
Ah.
Public policy. And
Okay,
management,
okay.
yes.
So he's gonna go now and change the
The dynamics.
dynamics and like okay,
following
but
the money. Can't blame
follow
him.
the money though.
Can't blame him. So, Joseph, how long now did you know you wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer?
For the past 1 or 2 years.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, what do you do in your spare time? School's closed, right? So, what do you do in your spare time?
Well, school is not really close for grade 6.
For grade 6, that's true.
Because
That's
of
true.
the NGSA.
Yes. So what do you do in your spare time anyway? Because I know you have spare time.
Well, I play video games like most kids these days, and I also play chess in my free time a lot.
Good.
That's nice. I wanted to learn to play chess, and Martina said it's boring. So
Wow, she just outed me like that.
I really wanted to, but yeah.
I will not discourage you from playing chess, but
she didn't
she
wanna
was
go
trying
with me
to
to the
take
chess-
me
the
on a
chess meet.
Saturday to learn to play chess. Like, you know, like on Saturday, the option is to go to breakfast, then go to the hotel and swim. And, you know,
She opted to do those things and was going with me to learn to play chess.
another time.
Okay.
But he has
Hopeful,
been
I'm
playing
hopeful.
chess since he was 6-7 years old.
Okay.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
so-
That's impressive.
My boys play chess. I think that's enough in the family for now. Yeah.
And I had participated in Carifta for the under 8 category, and I won 3rd place
Excellent.
in
Excellent.
2018.
Excellent. You see?
Alright.
We don't all have to do it. Yes. What's your favorite subject? I know you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, you like chess, and you play video games. I'm trying to figure out here. I'm thinking your favorite subject will be something involving numbers or sciences.
Well, my favorite my favorite subjects would be mathematics and English.
English put on the lawyer's side and math put it on the doctor's side.
Yes.
But anyways, we're not going to talk about the competition yet. I'll give that bit of feedback later.
We're coming to that. Yep.
So how are your preparations coming along right now for NGSA?
Well, I feel the best way to study would be doing the past assessment papers, reading the social studies and science books. For example, The Guyana, Our Country, Our Home, and Science Made Easy. And also normal studying would be good as well.
The boosters. Yeah, and he's been doing the learning
The
channel has the
boosters,
boost.
The
yes.
NGSA booster
And
videos.
yes, we were listening to one just yesterday. Was that one with
It was
the
about the symbols of nationhood.
symbols of nationhood?
Good.
Awesome,
And then he's reading
awesome.
the right books because just like with his experience being new to Ghana from Jamaica for the
Yes.
past 2 years, my son had that experience and the teachers encouraged him, listen, put that whole book in your head, swallow it if you have to.
I felt like I did that during
Because,
Whiz Kid's period.
Because the information is totally new from
Yes.
what he would have been doing in Jamaica. So swallow that book.
But the NGSA, the booster, was quite instructive yesterday because you can listen to it.
Yes.
So we're driving and turned it on and
So
just to
that's-
hear the content.
So that's a project
right.
I'm responsible for as well.
Very
And
good.
we're working on
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
We're working on trying to make it more interactive as it is because of course it is online and a teacher is not in the class, so we need to make it interactive to ensure that the child wants to pay attention to what's happening rather than drone out people constantly talking.
Yes.
But yeah, we're working on new strategies in which to implement so we can make it more engaging. But I'm really glad that you guys are enjoying it. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback and
It's
that's
an excellent
really good.
idea.
So
and
let's
as
make-
parents, we will listen to it too because we
Yeah.
have to learn about Ghana social studies.
Yes.
And
yes.
it brings us then to the question, how did you find out about the Whiz Kids 2023? Is it because you follow the Learning Channel?
Oh, well, before we talk about that, let's tell our audience what Whiz Kids is.
Okay,
So,
cool. Yes, let's do
Whiz
that.
Kids is an NGSA themed game show that is targeting children from grade 6 primarily. We basically test kids on their core subject areas that are taught in school, mathematics, science, and social studies, and give them the opportunity to not only answer their questions, share their knowledge, but also test their speed. So it's sort of like an Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader kind of thing, but we're with a Guyanese twist. Right? And so yeah, we basically ask kids questions in a lineup, so they have competition. We ask them questions and then give them a chance to, first person to tap the buzzer gets a chance to answer the question. And yeah, we have the various categories available for them. We also try to implement like new things into each round, like a rapid fire, whereas we ask them the questions one after the other really fast or as fast as we can read the questions. And yeah, and see how they
It was fun
answer
just
the
being an
pressure.
outsider watching
Like in the
on.
wild card
Yes.
one.
Yes, like the wild card round.
Yes.
And but yeah, it's really interesting and fun. But I was the host for the entire show, and it was fun for me. It was fun for me.
Brought out the inner kid.
There were many moments when I was like, "Oh my gosh, who's winning?" in my mind, but I couldn't say.
Oh my
But
God.
yes, we learned of Whiz Kids we saw it on Facebook. Facebook, you have a Facebook?
Yes.
And
Again,
on,
Learning Channel's
yes,
Facebook page.
and on YouTube. And one of his teachers at school, big up to Sister Shelley. Right? Sister Shelley, who approached us and, got the relevant permissions and encouraged him to apply. So we have to give a shout out to Sister Shelley.
Sister
this
Shelley.
evening, who is
Good
actually
afternoon, Sister
taking
Shelley.
some quiet
Good night,
time
good
in
night.
Berbice. Right.
All right, so here we're going to take a quick break, and then we're
Yes.
going to come back into Everything Whiz Kids here in studio with our guests, Joseph and David.
Consumer protection is everybody.
Welcome to Talk Tax. My name is Carolita Edwards. Our program this week will outline to you the importance of paying taxes and filing your tax returns on time.
Need to apply for a taxpayer identification number or TIN from the GRA? Here is what you'll need: ID, passport or affidavit of identity, and proof of address. This can be a utility or internet bill, renter's receipt, or a mail bearing GPO's official stamp. Provide the original and copy of these along with the completed application form. It costs $1,000 for a new TIN and $2,000 to reprint a lost or damaged TIN. GRA, your partner in development.
Once you're earning income, you are obligated to pay taxes. This is in keeping with the Income Tax Act, Chapter 80101. If employed, your employer is tasked with the responsibility of deducting and remitting the taxes on your behalf. On the other hand, if you are self-employed, you are responsible for remitting your taxes to the GRA by the stipulated deadline. An individual can determine their tax payable by applying the single tax rate of 28% or the dual rates of 28% and 40% where applicable to their chargeable income. The submission of tax returns and payment of taxes is of utmost importance since it allows individuals to become tax compliant. Being tax compliant enables an individual or company to obtain a certificate of compliance quickly and with ease. The taxes we pay help to foster our country's economic growth, provide healthcare, education, infrastructure, and other public goods and services to its citizens. Therefore, taxpayers must be aware of their tax obligations and must understand that it is the moral and social duty of every responsible citizen of a country to pay their fair share of tax. The GRA is reminding taxpayers that filing tax returns and paying taxes by the stipulated deadline eliminates the possibility of individuals having to pay additional taxes, interest, and penalties to the GRA.
If you're self-employed, it means that you are your own boss. You have your own business and you set the charges for the goods and services you provide. As a self-employed person, you are assessed for income tax based on your chargeable income. That is, the amount remaining after expenses are reclaimed. Therefore, when submitting an income tax return for year of assessment 2023, you must submit the following: income and expenditure or profit and loss statement, balance sheet of assets and liability, loss schedule if applicable, wear and tear schedule if applicable, certificate of deduction, that is, set-off letter or certificate, such as a coal board letter or 2% withholding certificate if applicable. April 30 is the due date for the submission of tax returns and the payment of taxes due and outstanding. For more information, contact GRA's Tax Advisory Services, 227-6060, extension 8000.
11-year-old Joseph Prendergast, who is Whiz Kid's champion for 2023. And we have his dad in here, David Prendergast. All right, so we were asking him questions about the competition and, you know, how he found out about it and stuff. So you guys said that you found out about it from Facebook, and then you were also recommended by the teacher, Sister Shelley. Big up, Sister Shelley. Right?
I've been hearing a symphony.
So what made you actually decide
Before all I heard was silence.
Yes.
What made you actually decide to compete in the competition?
Well, guess what? I didn't know that there was any prizes. Like, I didn't know. So the reason I participated was I just wanted to see how well I would do.
Okay.
And I guess I did pretty well.
I guess, right? I guess. And what did you win?
At 65-inch TV.
Oh my God! That's
in his room.
That's your parents' nightmare. The TV in your room and the video game.
Surprisingly, I don't want a TV in my room.
Exactly. So he decided he doesn't want it in his room.
Good,
Okay.
good. I like that.
Yes, yes.
Dedicated and focused.
No distractions. NGSA last lap.
So how did you prepare for Whiz Kids? Like when you found out what the requirements were and what was expected? How did you prepare?
Well, of course, I studied as I would normally do for NGSA or the mock exams. You do the past papers, you look at the videos on the Ghana Learning Channel, and as normal studying is you read the textbooks, especially the chapters that you aren't very strong in.
Yeah, when we were preparing for the competition, it felt like I was doing the same thing. Like, we had to go through all the textbooks and then double-check the answers and then triple-check the answers to the point where we had a few instances in the actual the episodes itself, the segments, where we had to stop a bit, stop the recording, and then but not stop the recording, stop the show, and just double-check our answers, because while we had the set answers that we were about to accept, there were alternatives that we didn't cater to. So then we had to stop and go
and decide whether you would accept it.
Yeah, we had to go double check and call everybody, all the relevant people, and like, they said this. Is this correct? Like, can we take this? And then we decided from there.
Excellent.
But it was a lot of that, and but we were impressed, not just with Joseph, but with a lot of the kids that participated in Whiz Kids. But as I was saying earlier, like as I was about to say earlier, he said his favorite subjects were English and math. Yeah. But you did exceptionally well in social studies, which we found very impressive, because you've only been here for 2 years, and you managed to learn so much about Guyana.
Yeah.
And it was impressive.
Putting a lot of emphasis on your weakness, because interestingly, again, it's the same thing that happened with my son. Social studies became his strongest subject at NGSA and still remains his strongest subject now, because he knew that, it was his weak area, and we knew that, and we all teachers, everybody was working with us, and I'm assuming, is that what you do at home?
Well, the credit goes to his mother, Angela, in that department, because she has grilled him in social studies. It is a tough subject, and Ghana is such a vast country with such diversity, and I mean, the country we're from could fit into Ghana many times, but
not the population,
right,
but
yes, but it really took a lot of discipline, and still does, because remember, May is around the corner. So
just a month away.
Yes, but also you asked one question: how he prepared. He also watched the previous season.
Okay, yes.
To see how it
the
unfolded.
Structure.
Right.
Yeah, and the previous season was actually much different from what we did this year in terms of the structure. Well, okay, not structure per se. Maybe the equipment or technology.
Yeah.
It was more advanced this year. Not as advanced as we would like to have it, maybe in the next one, but compared to where we started. So Whiz Kids was conceptualized in 2022. It was when the director of the Learning Channel actually witnessed the Minister of Education playing with her niece and going through a sort of rapid fire round where she was asking her a bunch of questions related to school, and the niece was answering. So the director came to us and she was like, this is a nice idea. We should conceptualize a show in this regard. And so 13 days after she came to us, we released our first episode for Whiz Kid.
Wow.
For first episode. And when we started then, we didn't know what we were getting into per se.
Or that you'd be pegged with it for life.
From back then, because I was there from the very inception of Whiz Kids, and we started off with bells. We had like ding, those kind of bells, right? And we had the podiums for the 3 kids, and yeah, it was stressful because you had to sit there and stare at these kids like hawks, like who just pressed their bell first. Then we decided, okay, we're gonna get some lights. This will help us to better be able to, because we didn't want to be unfair, but we couldn't go beyond what we were already doing, right?
Yeah.
So we tried to get some lights. Then the other challenge was now identifying whose light just came on first. So, to the point where we would have our camera guys. The camera guys would be there. I would see one thing because I'm in this direction. I saw podium number 1 light come on. Camera guy said no to number 3. So that's how we were, many back and forth like that. And
but this time
it was much better. We did
better.
Our LED lights. We had the actual wrong buzzers. I mean, never mind. We had to improvise a little with regards to that.
I see you looking at the Lysol bottle. You want to tell the story of that Lysol bottle?
So we didn't want to, the buzzers were round and fairly flat. So we didn't want to have it on the podium and stuff because the kids were slamming their hands onto the buzzers and then they were hitting their hands onto the podium. We didn't want them to be injured. So we ended up filling the Lysol bottles with sand. And then we taped the buzzers onto that.
Yes.
And then taped the Lysol bottle onto the podium.
In the first round.
Yeah, just to,
what was that like for you, Joseph?
Well, in episode 10, which is the first round I was in, me and Orion just kept.
Yeah,
it kept falling over. They had to keep.
Yeah, we had to keep.
So you rectified it in the finals.
Yes, and it was much better. And then we implemented a buzzer system, whereas we could see the buzzer system would let us know who pressed on their buzzer first. So the number for that specific podium would pop up. Oh my gosh, it was so much better. Like I didn't need to concentrate as hard. And but yeah, so it was this round when the competition ended, everybody had a sense of relief. Like, yeah, this is it.
I'm assuming that wasn't your most challenging part, though. What was the most challenging part for you?
It was the end. It was the finals because guess what? In the beginning of the finals, that was the first round. I was behind by quite a lot. But then.
You're asking Daddy if it's okay to say it? Sure, go ahead.
But then I prayed, and then I started to getting question after question, very quick.
It boosted your confidence and your belief in yourself
and everything.
Yes. But then at the very end, it was the last question, and I remember it. Like everybody was tied 75 to 75 to 75, and whoever gets that question would advance. So it was very nail biting and tense.
Yes. What was that last question? Do you remember what it was?
Yes, of course I do.
What was it?
It was, what are the factors of 8?
Okay.
And the factors are 1, 2, 4, and 8.
Yes.
I got to it just before my opponents and advanced to the finals.
Good.
Yeah, I remember that round. The scores were then 80, 75, 75. Otherwise, it would have been a 3-way tie had you missed that question.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was
a 3-way tie how would it have worked?
If we didn't get it right.
We would have had the bonus round.
Yes.
We would have had the bonus round where we give you 10 more questions, and then we try to break it.
So you had everything figured out, all the possibilities.
Yeah, we had our team sat and we went over every single thing. With regards to answers and stuff, we sat and we went through. It was weeks of planning, sitting there. I felt like I studied Our Country, Our Home. Yeah, it was that, and we had to go through past papers.
When you talk about that, hold on. How many towns are there in Ghana? You know why I asked you that question?
Why?
When I left Ghana, we had 6. So I came back, I'm teaching my son, he's telling me 9. I'm like, where you get the other 3 from? Well, at that time it was 9. I'm like, where you get the other 3 from? Who's teaching you? Like who's your teacher?
A point to note though, for this project, for the Whiz Kids, everybody, all of our team, it didn't matter what department you fell under. You were technical, you were content, even the director of the Learning Channel, we all sat and we went through everything, nitty-gritty, everybody. We all, if I checked something, the director rechecked, somebody else rechecked her. So that's how we were. And I loved the fact that everybody, and for all of our projects, all of our game shows, that's how we work up there. Like everybody comes together and we do all of these things together. I'm responsible for, I'm the content coordinator upstairs, well, with the Learning Channel. I'm responsible for quality assuring, ensuring that we have the relevant content and the information is correct and those kind of things. And I'm not perfect. I am good at my job. I'm just not perfect. And then Jonathan would come and say, oh, Ramona, you missed this. Or a producer would come and say, Ramona, you look at this. That's how we look out for each other.
Brother and sister, man.
We fight a lot too.
I have to congratulate the team watching it evolve since he started. You really had it together, and the most fascinating, you were very you made the kids feel comfortable,
which is
with the starting, because we were more nervous.
But it's not.
But
you,
by the
you
time
see,
we
you
got
gotta think
in,
of yourself as when you were a mom with Jonathan.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like, I generally I'm not a people person per se. Like, I don't know how to comfort people.
Yes.
Like my son, I do, right? I hug him and like toughen up,
Yes.
right? I'd be like that, but with other people, especially children, I don't know how to comfort them. And
but you were very calm.
I did.
And
my colleagues assisted a lot in that regard, because we had instances where some of the kids started crying after they didn't proceed to the next round, and then my colleagues, they would just go swoop in. Like, I wouldn't have to deal with it because I can't deal with crying. I can't deal with too much
like
emotion.
the spelling bee. I felt bad because one child wanted to cry. Remember the spelling bee when we did the finals at Timanayana?
So like I can't. I don't know how
I
to
had to
deal
tell the
with
child
that.
remove from the stage. And I was like, do I say it now? Let's say it's Crystal. Crystal, could you take a seat? I didn't say remove from the stage, but that's what we were told to say. So I instead of saying that, it was like, could you kindly take a seat? Don't leave, because you're going to get a prize for your participation.
Yeah, you buttered it out there.
But I was going to say leave the stage. But yeah, you've got to be.
Yes, we really did. Like, everybody pitched in, and it really helped me, because when I'm in work mode, I'm in work mode. I don't really care too much about emotions. I don't care too much. If people cry, I freak out. So I told them from the very inception, if anybody cries, you guys got to deal with this. And they were wonderful at it. Like, it seems like everybody upstairs, all my colleagues, are good with people and their emotions except me.
But you are. I'm not going to go into saying why, but you are. You've been there when you're needed. I just want to come back to our youngest guest, Joseph. The Whiz Kid competition, is it the first of this kind that you've participated in?
Definitely. There's nothing else that I can think of right now that I have participated in that's similar to the Whiz Kids.
Okay. So how do you plan on using the knowledge and the skills that you've learned or acquired from participating in the Whiz Kids? How do you plan to use it in, preparing for NGSA and your regular class activities and so on?
So the questions that I had gotten wrong in all of the rounds of the Whiz Kids, I can use the answers that I got from the Whiz Kids, and I can remember it when the NGSA exam comes.
Okay. Yeah, the practical exercise is good. Oh my.
You can use it to prepare for the NGSA, because the syllabus it's drawn from.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we asked what your most challenging, the challenging part of the competition was. What was the best part for you? What was your most favorite?
It was also the most challenging part, the finals. Although I was literally shaking.
Yeah, I remember I asked him how he's feeling.
Like in the intermission when the other kids went up, I was like...
Yeah.
What calmed you down though?
And I heard
the
them.
AC was really low. Yes. I think that's what contributed to the shaking.
Yes. Also, the other kids were talking about what am I going to do with the TV? The tablet.
Yes. All right, what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break and we are going to come back. Here in studio, we have David and Joseph. Ramona's hands are quick on the button. We've got David and Joseph, father and son, here in studio talking about the Whiz Kid competition. Don't worry, Daddy didn't participate. He's just here supporting his son. Joseph Prendergast. Why am I thinking the musician? And it's different. It's Pren.
Yes, we are Pren and he's Pen.
Yes, it's Prendergast. Yes. We're going to come back. We're going to take a quick break here on the Women Empowerment Program.
Consumer protection is everybody's business. Consumers, when making purchases of a good or service, you should collect a receipt. It is the only proof of purchase. Receipts should include the purchase price and the VAT separately as paid by the consumer, date of purchase, description of goods sold or service provided, name, address, and the telephone number of the business. Your receipt allows you to return a good purchased. Goods must be returned no later than 7 days from the date of purchase, have not been used or tampered with, and in its original package. Businesses may charge a restocking fee not exceeding 10% of the purchase price on goods returned. Goods which fail to provide consumers the benefit and uninterrupted enjoyment intended should be returned to suppliers. At no cost to the consumer, suppliers should repair, replace, or refund the purchase price. Suppliers shall not post notices that goods are not returnable, and no refunds will be given for goods returned. A supplier who conducts this act commits an offense. Contact the Department of Consumer Affairs and the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce. catguyana@gmail.com or Department of Consumer Affairs Guyana on Facebook.
The Ministry of Human Services and Social Security and the Spotlight Initiative invite you to download and activate the GBV app, I Matter. And because you do, get all the resources right here.
Introducing the new I Matter app, your go-to app for all gender-based violence resources, education, and help. Easy to use and available to everyone. Download the app from your app store and get started by selecting the region you live in to help us provide region-specific resources for you. This app lets you understand and educate on gender-based violence, find support services for you or someone you know affected by violence, and get accurate information, laws, and facts. You'll also be given the opportunity to access helpful resources and have the chance to see answers to frequently asked questions that will help you understand the issue and be better prepared to recognize any of the symptoms of gender-based violence. If at any time you have an immediate emergency, you can quickly click on any 914 prompt across the app to get support. Get the app today and let's help stop the violence.
Kept advancing in the rounds. Did you make any changes as to how you prepared for the finals?
He's like, put on the mic. You see,
Like,
he's a quick learner.
I was just signaling.
Yeah.
So subtle, right? And she just had to blurt it out. I really can't.
No, he's a fast learner. Go ahead. How did you change if you needed to?
I didn't.
Okay.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
You just prayed and...
I prayed. It was a mixture of prayer, studying, and support.
Okay.
Yes, of course you had to put the effort there before you have your prayers answered.
Because I can't just do this and say, "Oh God, please help me," or anything like that.
Exactly.
You have to do your own. You have to pull. You have to row your own boat as well.
Yes.
brings me back to the idioms that we used throughout the competition as well. So what did you think of the questions that were asked during the competition?
Because I've studied for it, they were simple for me. Some of them I obviously didn't know.
Okay. Do you remember any particular question that you didn't know, but you know about the answer by heart now?
Well, there was this one that I knew, but I said it in a different way, and it wasn't technically correct.
Which one is that?
It was the one about, I said Rupununi savannas, but the correct
Yes.
term was interior savannas.
Yes, I couldn't accept that because when you're actually in the exam, you have to say the interior savannas because that's the name of the local, so the natural region that is.
And that's very important.
Yes.
Because that's the correct name.
But you'll definitely remember it now.
Yeah.
So you won't ever say Rupununi savannas, you say interior savannas.
You
So
were
that's good to
halfway
know.
there. You had the savannas.
Yeah. But there's no half mark system.
Yeah, it was.
If there was, then people would be getting half marks all over the place.
So how do you plan on using, well, I figure you're going to be using the knowledge you gained from Whiz Kids to write your NGSAs. How do you plan on using it going forward? Are you going to tutor anybody? or offer that knowledge and or your system in studying to anyone?
Wait. Listen, I am not good at teaching people. I do not have very good patience when it comes to that.
But you know what? I think you're going to be telling your dad and mom, this area, this symbol, this sign. Are you doing that yet when you're driving? Like to school? This is this monument, Dad, and it means this and that?
Sometimes I do that. For example, the 1823 monument is right next to the seawall. Can't say that. But although if they ask in the exam, I can't say it's next to the seawall.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to say it's in Region 4.
Yes. You see, I know what happens because we started pointing out monuments to Victoria, my daughter, she's 2. And every single time we pass Durban Park, coffee! Mommy, coffee!
Yes,
Mommy,
my son
coffee!
does
She
that
knows
too.
that so well. Yes,
He knows
I'm
the
sure.
landmarks to our home. So we have 2 homes. And he knows the landmarks to both of them.
Mm-hmm.
He can direct. If I'm asleep in the car, he can tell the driver where to drive.
Yes, it's good, it's good for them. You know to get your way home, right?
Yes, I do. It's too far for me to walk, though.
So, Joseph, do you have any advice for anyone who's listening and would want to participate in Whiz Kids next year?
Well, they should probably study, watch the booster videos and the previous Whiz Kid videos on the Guyana Learning channel, and they should also do the past papers.
Okay.
Listen, I think just now when he said home is too far to walk, that was a little message to his dad. Like dad is thinking you're going to start walking home from school and he's like, no. I saw that exchange of that look.
So throughout the competition, did you make any new friends?
Nope.
What?
No.
Nobody to walk home with.
There were kids.
But there were kids you were talking with.
Yeah.
That's true. I was talking with them, but they were more. But since they were friends, it's like when a bunch of people are friends and they're talking to each other, and there's someone that they don't really know. It's not. You're not really friends. Also, they were rivals.
He thought it was rivals.
Very competitive
I get
and overly confident. Oh, what am I going to do with the TV? When I get that laptop, what am I going to play on it? Like that type of stuff. But I was just there like this, shaking.
Oh, they were already planning.
Yeah.
Well, that was the reason why they entered the competition
Yes.
for some people. And you're like, I'm working
They were
towards this
hopeful, they were
television.
hopeful.
Yes.
We had no idea of what the prizes were, or thought it was an interesting journey for him, especially being new here. And also when we saw the questions, we thought good opportunity for him to learn. So it was quite a journey.
I feel like it'll. And so on. Like we were very proud of them. So I am positive that this year we'll see another set of kids like that, because Whiz Kids itself is designed to assist you in your revision process, and because they're all realistic questions and questions that are literally in your exams. Like
I feel like some of these questions were taken directly out of the books of the past paper. For example, there was one about Jenny and her sister. I remember seeing that in a past paper.
Yeah, we did. We tried to change up a few numbers and stuff, but we didn't want to make it too unfamiliar, and then we just
throw you
off.
Throw
Anybody off. But we did try to. At some point, we got lazy. We didn't ever change the names anymore because we did initially start off by changing the names to our colleagues and just some random person or just making up a name and stuff. But
His teacher at Marion did point out, Miss Fredericks, that it's not only for kids who are knowledgeable, it's for kids who have been taught the syllabus, social studies, etc., and they assimilate.
Yes.
And then they can articulate what they have learned. So
yeah, and the good thing about Whiz Kids too is it was also testing your speed.
Yes.
So that's brought like a bit of competitive edge to the entire
And it will
competition.
cement the information, I think when we did speed drills in school, you had to study it so much, so often that it's just there with the tip of your tongue and you don't forget it. that helps. So during the exam, you're able to manage your time well because you know the information. You don't have to sit and ponder. You know the information. So right away when you read it, you know, this is the answer.
Yeah, and the pressure. It teaches them to work under pressure because I saw pressure break a lot of these kids.
Yeah.
Like it was, especially during the wild card round where we had we brought back students who didn't
Because
qualify
it was
from the
their
previous round.
last chance.
Yeah, and so the wild card round was essentially me reading the questions one after the other and them answering as fast as possible. You had a specific time, which was 90 seconds, to answer as many questions as possible. And I saw these kids, like, I know I read fast. I did make a special effort to not read as fast for the competition. But I'm reading, and these kids, their eyes are like, oh my gosh, what's happening? What's happening? Like the pressure was hitting them.
It reminds me a lot about this, like the spelling bee, when you had the rapid word calling and spell as many words.
Yeah,
by the time I heard the word, the child done spell the word, and I'm like, I didn't even hear the word properly, and the child spelled the word.
So that was the next thing to like, and the thing is, I was one of the judges for that.
Yes.
So I didn't expect them to be spelling so fast. So when the kids the word is just called.
Are you now familiarized?
No, the letters are
like
registering
hold
what
on
he
a
said.
minute, did she spell it right?
Right, but that's how it was, and then to the point where we even stopped. We had to check back the camera, slow down, and ensure to be everything. But
it was exciting though. It was exciting.
Yes, but yeah,
I'm coming back next year.
One of the things that this process taught us is it really does take a village, because his grandmother, his grandparents,
they're here
grandparents were
too?
here, and his mother and the school community. As I said, Sister Shelley, and of course, Sister Maria allowed him to come to the competition. So it takes, and then also how you guys facilitated the kids.
But I wanted to
Because
ask you
as
that.
parents, we were more nervous than
Good.
some
That's
of the
what
kids.
I wanted to ask.
And during the
what was it
episodes-
like sitting there as a parent and your
Well,
child
But
is
they weren't in the
under
room.
the gun?
I can tell you what I told my wife. Remember at one point in the finals when he was at 25 and the others were at 50 going up?
Yes.
I said to...
I just kept
That was
looking
the
at
first.
him.
The first.
This is in Jamaica now. I said, my heart can't take it.
I was just
I'm
looking
going to go
over
to the
there.
bathroom. My
thing
heart
is,
can't take it.
the parents weren't allowed in the same room as the kids during the competition because we were in studio. So they were in the other studio where we projected everything that was happening in our studio onto the TV there. So they were seeing real time what's happening. And but yeah, it was fun. I remember that specific episode because we were halfway through.
My heart can't take it.
And he seemed very nervous, and he said from the very inception that he was nervous. And then I don't know.
Semifinals?
The semifinals?
No, your episode. It was the episode.
Episode 10.
Yeah. And yeah, I remember that. And then we had to we paused for something. I think we had a technical issue, and we paused, and then we came back. He was ready to go. He was firing.
That little prayer and then the reassurance from mommy and daddy. Yes. But I wanted to ask you, in your shoes as a parent, he's new to Ghana.
Yes.
You guys are also new to Ghana. What was the process for you like working with him? Did you ever have it at the back of your mind thinking, oh my God, what if he doesn't win? How are we going to deal with this? Because for me, I'm going to give you this example. For me, because my son was not from here, I was always worried about social studies, and I was always thinking, oh my God, he's not going to do well in social studies. What was the process like for you?
You mean preparing for the competition? Okay,
The
from
competition?
before, but even before the competition, or there was any contemplation of the competition, he started school, and we realized that social studies takes a lot of extra work, right? And so from then, we were trying to educate ourselves by looking through the book, because for me it's a learning process. So learning about things like the Enmore martyrs,
Amerindian villages,
the Saint Bread riots, and the
Angel
Gabriel riot. It was fascinating because so we had to prepare ourselves, and we tried not to think of, oh, what if he doesn't make it? Of course, you may have a little doubt or two, but you don't want to verbalize or transfer that doubt to him. So we let him carry on, and we try to reinforce the preparations, especially, as I said, with gynosocial studies is fascinating, but you have to put in the time.
I call it rich history.
Rich history.
Mm-hmm.
So even mommy and daddy had to do the revising.
Yes.
Yes.
Because there's a lot more of it, it is also very difficult compared to Jamaican social studies.
Yes, I can imagine that, because we did a little bit of the Jamaican. When we lived in Antigua, we did a little bit of the islands, and the information was very different. So I understand where you're coming from. What do you feel today? Having won the competition, and your next focus is you've zoomed in right back into NGSA. What are you feeling today?
Honestly, I'm feeling extremely surprised that I've managed to make it this far.
I remember when they announced he was the winner. What was the first thing you did? He did the dab. We have a photo of it.
Right.
He did the dab.
Yes. Otherwise known as Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt to the world.
They're basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Let's get the dab.
Dude.
And to the world.
Bolt.
It's very simple. I feel like they took the dab from Usain Bolt.
Anything you want to say to your listeners, Daddy and Joseph?
Your support team. What do you want to say to them first?
Thank you for supporting me. And also to anybody who is watching this, who wants to participate in Whiz Kids in the future, remember to study, do the past papers, and also, if you win the competition, make sure to dab.
You want to set the trend? Set
the trend. Bolt, lightning. What about you?
Thank you for having us in the studio.
Yes.
And we feel connected to the Learning Channel team
I'm
now.
glad.
And when I saw Ramona this evening, I was like, oh, you are the one who called me, right? So
we meet again.
But yes, and we're honored to have been part of the Whiz Kids family and the journey, and in our new home, Guyana.
Leave some Jamaican with us. Language. What favorite quote you want to leave us with? Something from your home.
But wait, before that, I just want to bring back this memory. Before they announced the winner, I asked the crowd, the audience,
yes,
who do you think won? And everybody said Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Everybody said Joseph.
So it was clear. It was a clear
but
win.
then I said, oh, well, I'm rooting for Mackay because we're not leaving here losers. Nobody's losing. We're all learning something. We're all yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, what do you want to leave us with?
A Jamaican.
Mm-hmm. We should let him give us a what is it?
A drop?
A drop. Yeah.
You're listening to Edu FM.
Big up Ramona and Martina.
Yes.
Is it appropriate? Is it appropriate?
Big up Martina, big up Ramona, and
Ashwini.
Ashwini, we saw your name on the, yes. Big up to Guyana this evening.
Good.
Right.
Big up.
Oh my, and Sister Shelley, good night. Not
Yes.
Shelley Ann Fraser Price. Every time he said it, I was like, Shelley Ann Fraser Price.
Shelley.
All right, thank you so much.
But there's
Go
something
ahead.
else. In the Whiz Kids competition, a lot of the things, a lot of the questions I had remembered by heart. And something else I remembered was this. My name is Ramona Luki, and and welcome back to the exciting game show Whiz Kids, where young man in shine. And at the end, you always say, we're not just testing your knowledge, we're also testing your speed. And to anyone who's watching this who wants to participate in Whiz Kids,
You remembered my whole speech basically.
I remember.
But yeah, I said those things so many times. It was what, 12 episodes plus 3 semi-finals, and then the finals.
And the wild card one.
And the wild card round, yeah. So it was. I'm just gonna remember it.
He's got a sense
Welcome
of
to
humor.
Whiz Kids, the exciting game show where knowledge is power and young minds shine.
You have left an indelible mark on him.
He remembered your name. My name is Ramona Luthi. He got it right.
Yes. Just like how everyone pronounces my last name wrong a lot of the time. Pentagast, Pendergast, Prendergast. Before you know it, people are going to call me Joseph Pentagon.
I don't think they'll go that far. People have called you Pentagon before.
No, that's just a joke.
Okay.
Yes, it's been such a pleasure having you guys on the program. Thank you so much.
I think he's made us laugh the most.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, this has been a pleasure. I am glad to have you guys on the program. Yes. And I look forward to seeing you do bigger, better things. And
yes,
become
we're
that
going to
lawyer,
keep looking
doctor
out for
that you're
you
striving
here to see what exciting thing you have, things in store, We're going to keep an eye on you.
All right. So right now we're going to go take a music break.
We're going to take a quick break and then come back for the second segment of the Women Empowerment Program.
Open your hearts, open your home. Foster a child today. For more information, you can contact the Child Care and Protection Agency Foster Care Department via 231-8423 or 225-1257. Or you can also email us at fostercare.cpa@gmail.com.
Welcome to Talk Tax. My name is Carolita Edwards. Our program this week will outline to you the importance of paying taxes and filing your tax returns on time.
Need to apply for a taxpayer identification number or TIN from the GRA? Here is what you'll need: ID, passport, or affidavit of identity, and proof of address. This can be a utility or internet bill, renter's receipt, or a mail bearing GPO's official stamp. Provide the original and copy of these along with the completed application form. It costs $1,000 for a new TIN and $2,000 to reprint a lost or damaged TIN. GRA, your partner in development.
Once you're earning income, you are obligated to pay taxes. This is in keeping with the Income Tax Act, Chapter 8101. If employed, your employer is tasked with the responsibility of deducting and remitting the taxes on your behalf. On the other hand, if you are self-employed, you are responsible for remitting your taxes to the GRA by the stipulated deadline. An individual can determine their tax payable by applying the single tax rate of 28% or the dual rates of 28 and 40% where applicable to their chargeable income. The submission of tax returns and payment of taxes is of utmost importance since it allows individuals to become tax compliant. Being tax compliant enables an individual or company to obtain a certificate of compliance quickly and with ease. The taxes we pay help to foster our country's economic growth, provide healthcare, education, infrastructure.
On 99.7 FM in Georgetown and Anai, 89.9 FM in Ituni, Maruka and Port Kaituma, 98.9 FM in New Amsterdam, and 99.9 FM everywhere else. You can also join the conversation on our WhatsApp number at 600-8343. That's 600-8343. You can watch our stream or live stream right now on the World Wide Web at www.edu.fm. That is EDYOU.fm. And you can also watch us live on EduFM's Facebook page, EDYOU FM. And yeah, you can join the conversation by commenting and letting us know your thoughts on the program so far. We just wrapped up our conversation with the young Joseph Prendergast, who told us all about his participation in Whiz Kids 2023, which he is the champion of. And yes, so now we have two new wonderful people in studio. Interesting people. Martina, go ahead.
So we have Dr. Shakita Forrester. She's a dentist and she's very shy, but don't worry, we're going to break that tonight.
Yes.
And we also have Kevin Cadogan. He's the owner of 592 Dental, located on Mandela Avenue. They're here to discuss dental hygiene or oral hygiene. And they also have a giveaway tonight to the person who answers our question of the night correctly. But later on, we'll put that question out there and ask you to give the answer. So let me welcome Dr. Forrester and Kevin. Go ahead and introduce yourselves in a different way.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kevin Cadogan, young entrepreneur. Smile 592 Dental Studio was fully operational and functioning about a year ago. And so far, we have helped a lot of people brighten their smiles, give them a lot of confidence, and definitely made them feel better about themselves.
Yep. Well, here's the thing. Smile 592 Dental. Yes, we're live on our Women Empowerment page too. So Smile 592 Dental is going to be sponsoring our giveaway tonight. So before we do that giveaway, we're going to ask some questions. And here's what you're going to do, listeners. Make sure you get your pen and your paper and you listen to everything that's said, because you don't know which question we're going to ask based on, the information that is given tonight. You're going to want to write everything so that when the question is asked, you win and you get the answer correct, right?
I just have a question. Can I participate?
No. No.
Oh, wait, listen.
A big fat no.
Ashwini could participate and then you just give the prize over to me.
All right. So, one of the most important things that about us is our smile. Mm-hmm. It gives away so much about who we are, how we take care of ourselves, what we're thinking, what we're feeling in that moment. So tell us about behind that smile, our teeth. Type of teeth, number of teeth we have. We got 4 incisors, 2 canine, whatever you have, right? Mm-hmm. And how can we improve our smile?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So this evening we'll be discussing oral hygiene. But before we get into all of that, we know that the mouth or oral cavity has 32 teeth, or it's supposed to have 32 teeth, the adults. We have the incisors.
So I'm writing down 32 teeth. Uh-huh.
Yes. We have the incisors, the canines, the premolars, and the molars. So when we talk about oral hygiene,
Hold on, how much incisors you have?
Pardon?
How many incisors you have?
4 and 4. 8.
4 at the bottom and 4 at the top. So it's 8. And how many canine?
2 at the bottom, 2 at the top.
So it's 4 canine. How many molars?
4 and 4, 8.
So 4 the bottom, 4 the top. So it's 4, 4,
3 molars.
plus 4, plus 4.
On each side.
2 plus 2. And how many incisors? 4 the
12 in
bottom, 4 the top?
No.
How much?
3 on each side, so that's 6 and then 6.
Is so many incisors I have?
No. Incisors or molars, you asked me?
Oh, I just asked you about incisors. I'm
No,
like, where
sorry,
get all of
sorry.
them incisors from?
4
Like,
at the top, 4 at the bottom.
I was like, I'm missing a couple of teeth. So we have 8 incisors, 4 canines. See, Ashley, we need laughing over there. 8 molars.
She remembering all these answers.
And how many premolars?
No, the molars are 12.
The molars are 12. They see, I got 8. Them made wisdom teeth. My dentist tell me.
And then 8 premolars.
And then 8 premolars.
Yes.
So it's 8 and 8, 16 plus 4, 20 plus 12, 32.
Yes.
All right. I hope you all write that down. You know, I just did. All right. Go ahead. Tell me about these teeth and how can what we need to do to them to improve our smile.
Okay, so we'll be speaking about oral hygiene, and we know this is the practice of keeping your mouth or your oral cavity clean and free of any type of diseases, all right? So it involves brushing and flossing your teeth as well as visiting your dentist regularly. And when I say regularly, I mean biannually or twice a year, right? Good. So we might want to know why keeping up your oral hygiene is important. Oral hygiene is basically preventative care, right? This is where you basically try to stop any diseases or anything that is not supposed to be forming in your mouth from forming, right? So these things would be things like cavities, bad breath, gum disease, or any other issues, right? Before they start. So basically it's taking care of your mouth before it gets to the stage where you actually need to have work done, right? So usually we would say as dentists that the oral cavity or the mouth is the mirror to the body, right? So in that, you find that a lot of oral diseases, oral manifestations, things that you would find in the mouth would be manifested as a result of something else, or it can be manifested as a result of something else that's going on in your body. So it's very important to try to keep good oral hygiene. Ensure you brush, ensure you floss, ensure you visit your dentist. At least in that case, if there's anything that's going on in your body that maybe sometime you might not know that you have a particular ailment. I saw last Sunday we had Dr. Shamsuddin here, and he was talking about diabetes. And a lot of times we don't. People just look at the mouth as the mouth and the dentist as a dentist. All we do is, a lot of times people associate it with us just pulling teeth, right? But in a case like somebody with diabetes, right, we would be able to, most times, pick up something that's going on in the mouth that we might be able to associate with a person being diabetic. That person might not know that they're diabetic, but when they come to the clinic, maybe they see, that their teeth has started to shake, or their gums are puffy and they're bleeding and they're getting pain, and they present to the dentist only because they can't eat or because they see their teeth shaking. And we might be able to say, this is an early sign, or this is a sign of you being diabetic, and we might be able to tell them, get to a health center, get to the hospital to just get things checked out.
But we're going to come to all of that in a bit. So then, what should our general oral hygiene regimen be? You said visit the dentist twice a year, but what should our regimen be like? What should we do every morning or midday or evening? And
so one of the most important things would be to brush, right? And we advise to brush at least twice daily.
Write that down, guys.
At least 2 minutes, all right? Using a soft bristle toothbrush. Now,
why not the hard ones?
No, so we have a culture here where if the toothbrush is not hard and we're not feeling that toothbrush against our teeth and our gums, we don't see blood, then we're not brushing correctly, and that is incorrect, right? We should be brushing with a soft bristle toothbrush. As long as you're keeping up with your dental appointments, there's no need to be brushing with a hard wisdom toothbrush that, you know, you have to feel, because that...
Like a hard brush in your mouth.
Right.
But it's like, you know, like the soft one, for me, I don't feel
Like
right.
You don't feel like it's doing anything.
Like, you know, when you do this, it doesn't feel smooth. Like, you feel like,
Like it didn't walk.
Let me do it
You gotta do
again.
the- yeah, right.
So you get a medium toothbrush instead.
Even maybe a medium, but we recommend the soft bristle toothbrush, because over time what the hard bristles do, they would wear away the outer surface of the teeth, the enamel.
A brush can do that?
Yes. And they cause the gum line to begin to recede if you...
So you
don't
go
brush
back
right.
and then your teeth might look really
and then
long.
you start getting a lot of sensitivity, shocking when you drink or eat anything hot or cold.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
No more medium brushes for me.
So they actually cause more harm than good.
Okay. So then what do I do to feel that squeaky thing when I put my tongue across my teeth like, that was a good brush?
The regular dental cleaning, as well as brushing with a fluoridated toothpaste.
Okay.
We advise that, you know, you should also floss daily.
We're going to come to that. Don't give away everything yet. We're going to come to that. We're going to take a quick break. It's now 7:15 or 7:15, as we'd say here in Guyana. And we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Women Empowerment Program. Stay tuned. And remember, we got a giveaway, so listen and learn.
Women's Innovation and Investment Network's WIN app. It's the first Guyanese women's business directory that advertises your business completely free.
Welcome to Talk Tax. My name is Carolita Edwards. Our program this week will outline to you the importance of paying taxes and filing your tax returns on time.
Need to apply for a taxpayer identification number or TIN from the GRA? Here is what you'll need: ID, passport, or affidavit of identity, and proof of address. This can be a utility or internet bill, renter's receipt, or a mail bearing GPO's official stamp. Provide the original and copy of these along with the completed application form. It costs $1,000 for a new TIN and $2,000 to reprint a lost or damaged TIN. GRA, your partner in development.
Once you're earning income, you are obligated to pay taxes. This is in keeping with the Income Tax Act, Chapter 80101. If employed, your employer is tasked with the responsibility of deducting and remitting the taxes on your behalf. On the other hand, if you are self-employed, you are responsible for remitting your taxes to the GRA by the stipulated deadline. An individual can determine their tax payable by applying the single tax rate of 28% or the dual rates of 28 and 40% where applicable to their chargeable income. The submission of tax returns and payment of taxes is of utmost importance since it allows individuals to become tax compliant. Being tax compliant enables an individual or company to obtain a certificate of compliance quickly and with ease. The taxes we pay help to foster our country's economic growth, provide healthcare, education, infrastructure, and other public goods and services to its citizens. Therefore, taxpayers must be aware of their tax obligations and must understand that it is the moral and social duty of every responsible citizen of a country to pay their fair share of tax. The GRA is reminding taxpayers that filing tax returns and paying taxes by the stipulated deadline eliminates the possibility of individuals having to pay additional taxes, interest, and penalties to the GRA.
Right, we are back here on the Women Empowerment Program.
She just cut off Letitia, right?
Well, next time. You guys will hear that next time. All right, we are back in studio, and we still have Dr. Forrester and Kevin here.
Smile 592 Dental Studio, quality dental care. I'm just reading the gift card here, a gift with a smile that shines. And this gift card that you're going to win tonight, this entitles the bearer to cleaning, polishing, and a fluoride treatment. And you'll also get a free consultation with Dr. Forrester, and that's your dental package. I can't.
So remember, in order to win this gift card, you gotta listen to the interview, and then later we'll be giving a short. Well, Martina will be giving a short quiz.
Always giving homework
based on the information. So, Doc, tell us, how often do we have to clean our teeth?
So biannually, so twice a year. Sometimes, especially if it's like your first cleaning, we would advise, instead of having a cleaning done every 6 months, every 3 months, to have it done every 3 months until we have the oral cavity stabilized, and then from there we go on to every 6 months.
What does the cleaning entail? Does it hurt? Does it make you bleed? What happens?
If it hurts or bleeds, you don't go back. That shouldn't happen.
well, we gotta know. Because before I did my first cleaning, that's the perception I had. I'm like, oh, this thing is hard. Why am I putting myself through this? I don't even want to go to the dentist. So, yeah.
Right. So, it should not be painful, all right? Most places would use a topical anesthetic. So, that's just a gel that we would put to numb the gums a bit, so that while we're working, you're not in any discomfort. However, if it's a case where
I'm sorry,
it's a deep cleaning that's needed, right? Then that would require a little bit more work, and we would have to go a little deeper in your gums to clean out the plaque and tartar that is in there. So in that case, most persons would have a bit of bleeding, a bit more than usual. Some persons may experience pain, but after that, at least you know that whatever was there is out. And if you keep up that 6-month appointment, right, it becomes like nothing. You don't.
It shouldn't. You wouldn't have that sort of discomfort and bleeding and so on, like with the initial one. I'm chuckling here because Kevin, when we were inviting them to the program, he kept telling me that she's shy, and now he's in the background here saying, "You see, I tell you, she's not shy. She's okay now. She's okay."
He's supporting.
Yes.
So another thing. So I drink a lot of coffee, and that tends to stain the teeth. So how can I keep my teeth whiter at home?
So with the coffee drinking, we would advise that you try to limit the amount of coffee that you drink.
Or maybe use a straw.
Right. You can also
really?
use a straw so that the coffee is not
touching your teeth.
washing your teeth. Also, we advise that you rinse after you finish, so at least that takes away a bit of whatever would be staining, right? You can also use a whitening toothpaste at home, as long as you've consulted with your dentist and they've told you that
this will work.
It's okay for you to use, because not everybody can use a whitening toothpaste. So as long as they tell you that it's okay for you to use, the whitening toothpaste helps.
So it's based on your teeth sensitivity.
Hold on. So everybody can't use a whitening toothpaste? Why?
Because some persons, as I said, if let's say you've been using a hard bristle toothbrush all the time and you notice your teeth have started to get a little creamy, right? That would mean that the enamel, the white outer layer of your teeth, has begun to get a bit thinner, and the next layer, which is the dentin, that is a bit more yellow, that has begun to show up a little bit more, right? So in a case like that, with a whitening toothpaste, what it does, it doesn't strip your teeth necessarily, but it tries to remove, in order to remove the stains and stuff that is there, it has a little bit more work to do than a regular toothpaste.
So can you judge mine from far? Like, can I use a whitening toothpaste?
It looks okay. I would still need to go in and
You can't just see over the top, Martina.
Mouth is very small. So.
My mouth is very small. Wow, I never knew that. I'm glad to know that not everybody can use a whitening toothpaste, and there is some sort. So your dentist would advise you, or should advise you on it. So
a lot of these dentists don't do that. I can tell you.
Listen. So I went to the East Coast branch. Where is it? LBI, and these people call you and remind you when your date is due. They.
Oh yeah, you showed me the envelope and they mailed you a reminder.
I got a mail.
Yeah.
And they spelled my name wrong.
Oh no.
That's what it said.
I
Martina.
had it in my bag. Yes,
it said Martina.
I
She's
would
gonna
read
show
it.
you.
No, I think I left it at the bank. I used it as my proof of address today, and then they said my name is wrong and I can't use it, and I think I left it there. Anyway, yes. So my dental appointment is due in a couple of days, and they reminded me via mail and via call. I don't remember. I think it's your facility because it's LBI. It would be a shame if it isn't.
So you will be referring to our sister branch, Small Guyana, and they have offices Middle Street.
Middle Street near to that food place, the vegetarian food place. What's it called? Oh my God. Juice Power, next door to Juice Power. That's where you are?
No.
Your sister
That's
branch?
our sister branch. Our sister branch.
Okay.
Smile Guyana.
Smile
So
Guyana.
that's Small Guyana. Or
That's
Small 592.
What's the difference? What's the difference? Like, who do you rotate staff? How does that work?
Not necessarily. So they were very important in terms of helping me
Get started.
You know, they were mentoring.
Okay.
and
So
stuff like
Kevin is the brainchild behind Smile 592 Dental Studio. Question to you, Kevin. What made you get into this business?
I had braces for a while. I had really crazy looking teeth.
But they look perfect now.
They look perfect now because, you know, believe it or not, those things hurt. So it's a lot of pain before this, you know, it's like a caterpillar and a butterfly situation.
And my nephew is now wearing, oh my God, I don't know if I was allowed to say that. One of my nephews is doing braces. I thought his teeth was perfect before, but I guess to him it wasn't. They weren't. And he said it feels almost as if they're being uprooted and shifted into a whole new place. I've never, he said they feel weak and they cannot chew hard things. Like, I didn't know that is what happens.
Initially, but first stages, the first time I got it, it felt like
Look at his teeth, how they're so white.
It felt like you got into a fight with
like
with
somebody punched you?
Like someone punched you in your face.
Okay.
Yeah, like for the
How
first
long?
week.
Oh, dang.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's necessary, and that's the only way if you want to straighten or pull your teeth in.
It's moving. It's actually moving bones. So it's moving the mandible and stuff like
restructuring.
that, and restructuring your whole face.
So your experience as a child having braces, that is what was their driving force to begin with.
Yep.
Wow.
So that started my my whole dental journey. In terms of you know what, I'll take this thing serious. And like Chiquita mentioned before, in terms of I had gotten a deep clean before. And what happened is they actually go under your gums.
Yes.
And I didn't know that. So before, we'd just do the little, a little brush around and squiggle. And as kids, we don't necessarily take the most time
care
and care for our teeth until it's too late. So my first visit to the dentist was really mean. This was in the States. She was really mean. She made sure that she told me that, hey, you're not doing a good job. What are you doing? This is horrible. And I felt really bad. And from that point, I was like, you know what? There has to be a better way.
There has to be a better way to talk to people.
There has to be a better way to speak to people, try to, convince them to, take care of their mouth in their teeth and stuff. Because after you lose these bad boys, that's it. Unless you're trying to get dentures.
Yeah, well, I don't want dentures. So tell me about the education policy that you have at Smiles Map 592 Dental. Do you, when patients come in while you're cleaning, do you educate them?
We try to. We have educational programming. We have a TV in the waiting area. We try to have educational programmings on while they wait. So it'll speak on cleanings. It'll speak on flossing, how to take care of your teeth, different procedures in terms of like extraction. So if it's like little kids, they don't get too nervous or scared about the procedures. And
We
stuff
also
like
have brochures.
You
that
give
we
them a
out
gift?
for most procedures. Yes,
Okay.
children. Yes, no adults.
Can I be 12?
The gift for adults is a guarantee of no pain and these kind of things. We talk you through every step of the process, whatever it is we're doing. We talk you through it, ensure that you're comfortable and these kind of things before.
I had a cleaning experience once that was quite eerie because the process lasted about 45 minutes. And for that entire time, the dentist did not say a word. It's just they're cleaning. And I'm like, okay. But my previous experience, the dentist said, so I'm going to do this now, and you're going to feel this, and this is the reason why I'm doing this. And I remember the dentist said to me that you're not good for business because I don't have anything that is going to need expensive procedure. Yeah, he's like, you're not good for business. It was a joke.
Well, that's a good thing. That means
You're not good for business because you don't have anything you need any expensive procedures on. But
Question: from what age do you recommend that you start bringing a child to the dentist?
At least by their first birthday.
Okay, that's pretty young.
like,
So
how
by
do they
then
even
4 years
sit in the
behind this,
chair
yeah.
at one?
We put the parent to sit and then the child on the parent's lap.
Okay, I put Victoria to sleep.
And it's very important to start bringing them very early because I find here.
Hi, hello. How can I make an appointment?
Oh, yes.
Fine here.
How you can make an appointment, you can ring them at 640-1396 or 504-1574. You can WhatsApp as well.
Yes.
640-1396. It's on Mandela Avenue. It's right around the corner from me. Now, tell me something. Grinding your teeth, I think the term is bruxism. Does that affect your teeth or your gum in any way? Is it a healthy habit?
No, it's not. So, in regards to your gum, it places pressure because the teeth, they have attachments that is attaching the teeth to the bone, right? So, when you grind, it's extra pressure you're placing on your gums, on the bones, and everything that is helping that tooth to stay in place. Also, when you grind, if you notice, persons that would grind, their teeth would appear a bit shorter and a bit more
Smooth.
Doesn't have
Even?
grip.
Chipped? What?
right,
Doesn't have
like
grip.
chipped at the top here, at the
Okay.
chewing surface, right? So, in a case
I
like
gotta check
that,
mine now.
if you grind, some people grind so much that the nerve becomes exposed and
Ooh.
all these things, and then they would have to go to get fillings or root canals.
I know
or
some people
extractions if it gets
grind
really
your teeth
bad.
in their sleep, though.
In their sleep, yes.
The jaw teeth. So the jaw teeth, we call them molars and premolars. You have 8 of the premolars, 12 of the molars, 4 canine, and 8 incisors. So as an adult, you should have 32 teeth. This question for you, Kevin, having had braces before, do you recommend it? Like, is it necessary? After you've had it, did you think it was necessary?
Well, for me, it definitely helped with my confidence. It's a confidence booster. It's not a necessity, but it helps. But for some people, it can be a necessity depending on how their teeth are aligned. Because if your teeth are misaligned, it messes with the nerves in your jaw.
And about ability to chew as well?
Ability to chew, the
The
ability
ability
to
to
speak,
chew,
everything.
like
'Cause-
everything changes your speech, everything.
Okay.
Yeah, you might
So
notice some
it's
people
not necessarily cosmetics. For some people, it might be.
It might
but,
be cosmetics for some people,
it
but-
is a necessity for health and for
Yes,
speech and
if you
so
have
on.
riders or for persons that grew up sucking their thumbs, you know.
I did.
Well, you see, you're one of the lucky ones to still.
And I
have
didn't
your
stop
teeth
until I
intact.
was 14.
Oh wow.
But you see, some people suck their thumbs
And then their
until
teeth push
their
out.
teeth are like, you know, there's this big
I
space.
used to suck my index and my thumb like this, and I don't know how it fit. But it's like until I was age 14, and I don't remember what made me stop. My husband might say otherwise, because sometimes I still put my index in my mouth. It's just a thing, right? But does health, in terms of your diet, affect your teeth? I know you talked about diabetes, and somebody may have some issue, but like the food that I eat on a regular, I like pickled mangoes. Is that good?
No.
Okay.
Very
She's like,
acidic.
no.
So it's not good to eat on a regular. I just want confirmation.
It sounds like we
Occasionally?
got a pickle mango fan.
You can eat it occasionally, but it's not
Okay.
something that you should be eating like all the time, every day, because the acid tend to erode.
So what are some of the foods that you should not be eating?
Foods that
like-
are high in sugar. So.
I
all
mean,
the
when I say
sweets
not
and
be
the-
eating, listeners, I didn't mean not be eating. Let me just finish. Not be eating regularly. Don't abuse these foods, all right? So foods high in sugar.
High in sugar, that is acidic.
Like limes do?
Right,
Okay.
limes, green mangoes, celery if you eat that.
Mm-mm.
Those
What
kind
about
of
five
foods.
finger?
The sweet
That's
ones.
acidic as well.
Wow.
Orange?
You can eat orange. It's not that you can't eat it, but you just
Don't
have to,
overdo.
you know, eat in moderation. It's just like the sweets. You can eat the sweets, but not, you know, you don't
be
overdo it,
glutton.
and your quantity as well as your frequency. So, the frequency is what is a bit more serious as opposed to the quantity. So you can eat a lot of it. Nothing is wrong with eating a lot of it at one time, but if you eat a little bit every half an hour, every hour, that's more dangerous than sitting down and eating an entire bowl of pickled mango this morning.
Oh wow, I didn't know
Right?
Because you're eating it whole day, a little bit,
Yeah,
you're
And your
constantly.
mouth is not getting the time to neutralize the acids and all these things.
I thought quantity had a big part to play rather than.
So I could take this.
consistency.
No, then let me think about that. Okay, so here are the questions for you for the quiz before we take a break. Question number 1: how many teeth are there in the adult mouth? How many teeth are there in the adult mouth? And question number 2: please remember, you can send the responses on 600-8343. That's our WhatsApp number. Or you can send the response. You can put the response on our Facebook Live on EduFM. So question number 1, how many teeth are there in the adult mouth? And question number 2, could you break down the types of teeth that are there in the adult mouth? All right. So I could tell you one of them, premolars. And you can tell us the rest. The type of teeth and the number of teeth in the adult mouth. I'm not going to ask you to break down the number by type, okay? Just the total number and the types of teeth in the adult mouth. So we're going to take a quick break and come back to the Women Empowerment Program. The first person to send the answer on WhatsApp, you are going to, or on the Facebook, we're going to check the time, and you are going to win this gift card to go and get a free cleaning, polish, and fluoride treatment from Dr. Forrester. This is your dental package from Smile 592 Dental Studio. Stay tuned.
Don't ever.
If you're self-employed, it means that you are your own boss. You have your own business, and you set the charges for the goods and services you provide. As a self-employed person, you are assessed for income tax based on your chargeable income. That is, the amount remaining after expenses are reclaimed. Therefore, when submitting an income tax return for year of assessment 2023, you must submit the following: income and expenditure or profit and loss statement, balance sheet of assets and liabilities, loss schedule if applicable, wear and tear schedule if applicable, certificate of deduction, that is, set-off letter or certificate, such as a coal board letter or 2% withholding certificate if applicable. April 30 is the due date for the submission of tax returns and the payment of taxes due and outstanding. For more information, contact GRA's Tax Advisory Services, 227-6060, extension 8000.
Consumer protection is everybody's business. Consumers, when making purchases of a good or service, you should collect a receipt. It is the only proof of purchase. Receipts should include the purchase price and the VAT separately as paid by the consumer, date of purchase, description of goods sold or service provided, name, address, and the telephone number of the business. Your receipt allows you to return a good purchased. Goods must be returned no later than 7 days from the date of purchase, have not been used or tampered with, and in its original package. Businesses may charge a restocking fee not exceeding 10% of the purchase price on goods returned. Goods which fail to provide consumers the benefit and uninterrupted enjoyment intended should be returned to suppliers. At no cost to the consumer, suppliers should repair, replace, or refund the purchase price. Suppliers shall not post notices that goods are not returnable, and no refunds will be given for goods returned. A supplier who conducts this act commits an offense. Contact the Department of Consumer Affairs and the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce. cadguyana@gmail.com or Department of Consumer Affairs Guyana on Facebook.
On EduFM or on our WhatsApp 600-8343. So it's 600-8343. All right, we're going to ask you this question here, Dr. Forrester. How many teeth does a normal adult have? Like, normal amount of teeth.
So you should have 32 teeth.
And break them down. Remember we discussed earlier, you got this type and that type and the number. Mm-hmm.
Your incisors, your canines, your premolars, your molars.
So the molars, the wisdom teeth are molars as well, right?
That's the last one.
Okay, because somebody asked me if wisdom teeth different from the molars, and had me questioning and doubting myself for a minute there. So the question for tonight's quiz, 2 questions you have. How many teeth does a normal adult have? And what are the types of teeth that you have in your mouth? I want you to name them. And the person who gets the answer correct will win the cleaning, polish, and fluoride treatment, and also get a free consultation with Dr. Forrester, which is the dental package. And essentially that is going to be done by Smile 592 Dental Studios, located at lot 662.
Mm-hmm.
Not 622.
No, 662.
662 Mandela Avenue, Georgetown. And once you win this prize, we will have your name and your information on our Facebook or WhatsApp. So we will tell you where to go and how you can pick up your gift card. The question again, 2 questions. How many teeth does an adult have and or should have? And the other question is, what types of teeth do we have? Could you name them all? And I'm going to give you, the answer was given before on the program, and I'm going to give you one type, premolars. All right, how can I improve my oral health at home between my dental visits?
So, brushing, again, we try to use a 2x2 rule, just so that, we can remember. You brush twice a day in the mornings, and it's very important to brush in the night. That should be the last thing you do before you go to bed, so you don't go to bed with food all over your teeth and these kind of things. So brushing, flossing, because brushing only takes away the debris and the buildup from around your teeth and on top of your teeth, but it doesn't take it from between the teeth, right?
Okay.
So the toothbrush, the bristles can't fit between there. So that's why we would advise that you floss every day.
So should you floss then brush, or brush then floss?
Some researchers say brush then floss, some say floss then brush.
What would you suggest?
I would advise to floss and then brush.
So I floss and then brush, because I floss
When you
so
floss out,
anything comes out, and then I brush to make sure I get everything away. That's my logic.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going good. I'm going good. And then you said it's a 2x2 rule, so it's 2 minutes twice a day.
Yes.
Okay. So now 1 minute in the morning, 1 minute in the night. It's 2 minutes in the morning,
2 minutes in the
and 2 minutes in the night. All right.
I have another question. So I read once upon a time, and then my son came to me with this thing the other day. So the way we grew up, the way I grew up, is you brush and you gargle, you rinse out your mouth, and then you leave. But then remember my son was brushing his teeth, and I was like, "Oh, you didn't wash your mouth?" And he was like, "No, I don't have to. Like, YouTube says you don't have to." Right? Like, do you have to?
You're not supposed to.
Yeah?
Right. You're supposed to brush and then spit the toothpaste out without rinsing your mouth.
Oh, really?
My
What?
4-year-old taught me to buy.
Like when?
Because remember that the toothpaste should have fluoride in it, and you need that fluoride to sit a little bit on your teeth.
Man, I'm speechless. I didn't know that. I've always
you gargle, you wash it away, rinse away everything.
I still do
You
that.
should brush and spit and then wait for at least 15 minutes before you
drink anything or.
Right.
Oh wow.
So not even mouthwash?
You can use the mouthwash, yes.
Because when you finish brushing, you can gargle with the mouthwash
And then spit.
But not use actual water.
shouldn't rinse, right.
Right away. About 15 minutes you can wait. Wow. What's
Right?
the logic? She said to keep the fluoride on your
Yes, the
teeth to keep
fluoride
working.
Right.
My
has
mouth
to
will feel
work
dirty. Like, I feel like I'm still
Wow.
brushing my teeth.
And I didn't believe the child. I left him because he said he didn't want to do it. He doesn't have to. YouTube said he don't have to.
Wow. He's
So
4.
yeah,
He
and
taught
he's
you something,
4,
and the
yeah.
dentist is right.
So, let me ask you a question.
He's gonna be a
'cause
dentist.
I did not know that. I didn't. So, how does that affect getting fluorosis?
So fluorosis is something that you can get either by there being too much fluoride in whatever it is that you're using, especially if it's a child. So if there's too much fluoride in the water, if you're using, that's why you don't give children below 6 fluoridated toothpaste, right? Because sometimes they can swallow it and it gets into their, so the toothpaste, in a sense, as an adult, would not cause you to get fluorosis.
Okay.
But can adults use a child's toothpaste, like kids' toothpaste? Is it recommended?
But would it be effective though?
It wouldn't be as effective as using. Remember that the kids' toothpaste is basically just to get them conditioned to using the toothpaste, so that you can get them to start spitting and
The routine part
not
of it.
swallowing the toothpaste that is recommended when they're a bit older, the fluoridated toothpaste.
Wow. Because I'm here thinking that perhaps if you have the issue like you're talking about, maybe they can use kids' toothpaste. Trying to find a way around everything. Okay, so then how do I choose my toothpaste? You keep saying use the fluoridated toothpaste, but how do I choose a toothpaste? How do I know it's the right one for me?
This brings me back to having regular dental visits. So
Okay.
again, with that, we would be able to assess if you need, let's say, a toothpaste that is catered to people with sensitive teeth, or one that has a little bit more abrasive particles in it as compared to one that is less abrasive.
Like that Colgate Triple Action. That, not talking down any toothpaste, but that thing blisters my entire mouth.
Right.
And it makes it feel raw in my cheek. Like I can feel
if you
the
have it too
flesh.
long in your mouth too, if you brush it
It
with
just
it.
it doesn't matter how much I use. Like it hits my mouth. Of course, you use more, it's worse. But once I use that just blisters my entire jaw. Like in my jaw, I can feel like if the flesh is raw. So I use Sensodyne and sensitive mouthwash as well. But what makes you determine what the person should use? Do you like do a test, a sample in their mouth?
No, it would depend on what the person presents with. So if you come to me and you say that you're getting sensitivity when you eat or drink anything hot or cold, and I don't see anything that would cause you to get sensitivity, as in like if I'm looking at it just like that, I don't see anything, I probably would be able to say, well, okay, start using Sensodyne to see if that would help. Or if you say that when you brush with a certain type of toothpaste it burns, I would be able to advise you, not to use a particular type of toothpaste. It's just same thing with the mouthwash. For some persons, the mouthwashes that would contain alcohol would cause you to get severe burning,
blistering,
right? So we
feeling.
would advise to use the alcohol-free mouthwashes as well.
I noticed the dentist dilutes it
with some water. Yes.
Why?
Because
Can
of
you
that,
do that then?
You can.
Can you dilute it?
You can, but then you can also get the alcohol-free mouthwash.
Okay.
Because the mouthwashes that contain alcohol is they can cause you to get dry mouth.
Oh wow. I had a question as well let me see what this was. Like the constant taste or like smelling blood in the mouth.
So that would indicate
Felicity won.
Right.
Whoa. Hey Felicity. So Felicity is all right. I sent my response to your inbox online. May the best person win. Amanai, I'm gonna check and see what time you sent it. So maybe you won and not Felicity. All right. The answers were coming in, but we're talking here about our oral hygiene, and I was just asking you about the smell of blood or the taste of blood in the mouth consistently.
So that would depend on if you don't have like something going on generally in your body, and it's just, let's say when you finish brushing or when you finish eating something, or if you fidget with your tongue a lot and you press against your gums and you feel like you're tasting blood, that would indicate most times that this person probably has some gum disease, and so that we would advise to visit a dentist. And in that case, if it's gum disease, then we would be able to say, well, okay, you get a cleaning done, whether it be a deep clean or a regular cleaning, just to get that situation under control. In a case like that, we would prescribe a medicated mouthwash that should help to bring that area back to where it should be.
What is a medicated mouthwash? Like a prescription?
Right.
Yeah. How do you get that? Can you just walk in and say,
medicated mouthwash?
Yeah. Or does it have to be something that you go to your dentist and the dentist says?
You should go to the dentist to get it, because even if you go to a pharmacy, I mean, here we know that we can walk in a pharmacy to get most things and we get it. It should be by prescription, yes. But if you just walk into a pharmacy and you buy, let's say, chlorhexidine mouthwash, and you just start using it because you've heard somebody say that you could use chlorhexidine mouthwash, it wouldn't be effective because remember you haven't cleaned out what is below your gum line, and you would just be washing. It's like you're washing with water. It would be useless in that case. So that should be used only when prescribed and for a particular period of time, because like antibiotics, it's not to be used long term or however you feel like using it. It should be used as prescribed.
Also,
Growing up, they
correction
made
in-
you gargle with water and hydrogen peroxide mixed. Like, what's that about? Is that even safe? She's like, No, I remember having to do that at least twice a year. That was like my dental visit growing up. My dental visit at home.
That helps
never
to
done that.
control some amount of bacteria the bad bacteria that would be in your mouth. Yes.
But it's not something you should practice like consistently.
Not consistently, no.
I remember having to do that, and it felt like I was swishing with soap water. Like it was foaming and
foamy.
yeah, I remember that. I remember them dropping it in my ear too. But anyway, we don't have an ENT in here. Like, you know, the older folks know a lot about medication and herbs and all the different things, but I would recommend that you go to your dentist.
Wait, what about oil pulling? What is oil pulling?
What?
Oil pulling.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
What is that?
With coconut oil.
Like normal coconut oil?
You put your mouth in. They
Yes.
put the
You
oil
put
in
the
your mouth
coconut
and
oil
you're
in your
swishing
mouth
and
and
pulling
you
it through
swish
your
it
teeth.
around.
Like the normal one you
Oh
go
my
to the
God,
shop and you
Kevin
buy?
is shocked. Yeah, you put the coconut oil in your mouth
And what does it do?
and you gargle with it and pull it
Just
between
like
your
you
teeth.
would use mouthwash.
Yeah, I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah,
between your
but
teeth.
it's heavier, so it's harder to get between your teeth.
What does it
it's
do?
a bit like
So
flossing with
we
liquid.
know coconut oil has medicinal properties. It's antibacterial, so that helps to control the bad bacteria that would be in your mouth.
So how often would somebody have to do that?
Go to your dentist, Ramona. You can't oil pull and fix anything.
I will have to come back to you.
All right, so
But it's
how-
highly recommended on TikTok, though. I was watching it the other day. Yeah.
TikTok is not going to replace your dentist, okay? Tell me something. How do you decide? Let's say you've got a bad tooth, and you have to, I don't know. Is it on the patient to say you want a fill-in or a root canal or an extraction?
It would be on whatever examination because of whatever examination we do. So we would go in and we would check. We would have to do an X-ray, and that would show if a filling would work or if a filling will not work. In a case where that cavity or the hole in the tooth is big or too deep and it's close to the nerve, then we wouldn't advise to have a filling done there, because that would just be pressing on that nerve. It would cause pain. So in a case like that, we would advise patients to have either a root canal done or an extraction. And we know that neglect is expensive. So the root canal is just a measure of helping you to save the tooth instead of, giving it up, like just saying, okay, just pull this out, pull it
But
out.
then sometimes it gets to the point where you will have to pull it, right? Like, can you save every tooth?
Not every tooth. If it's really, 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 really badly broken down and there is a lot of maybe infection and so going on, bone loss around that tooth, then it wouldn't make sense to save it.
Is there such a thing as brittle teeth? Like your teeth get so weak, like it would just
It
break?
starts to break, yes.
So there is such a thing. Okay, I just wondered because I've always heard of brittle bones, and your teeth, they're bones.
How
so
do you fix
So
that?
like osteoporosis in your bones, you have brittle bones, you can have,
in your teeth.
yes.
Wow.
And that's one thing that would show up in your mouth as well. If somebody comes to you and, their teeth have begun to start just flaking and breaking and these kind of things, or they're shaking, not just like that, but over time they find that they're shaking, we can tell that, okay, bone loss, osteoporosis, maybe in the jaw or something.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I don't ever want to get that. So our winner of tonight's quiz and the winner of the Smile 592 Dental Studio Dental Package is Felicity Daniels. Good night, Felicity. She answered our question correctly. Question number 1 was how many teeth the adult would have, and she said 32. That's correct. And what types of teeth do we have in our mouth, adults? Incisors, molars, canine, and premolars. I should have asked her now to break down the number of each. All right, so Felicity, you can touch base with us. And yes, we've got your contact here. Thanks for reaching out and tuning in to the Women Empowerment Program. And you are a winner. I have your card here for you to get your dental package. Congratulations once again. And congratulations to everyone else who inboxed us on our WhatsApp and our Facebook pages. Thank you for tuning in. Ramona, back to you. Any questions?
I'm tired now. Bye.
You don't go home.
This evening was very informative. I had a good time.
I had a fun time earlier. I had a fun time just now as well. But I
and
learned a lot.
Learned something new about the gargling thing.
Many things. Like, wow.
I learned something myself.
Yeah, but you're sitting over there with perfect teeth. I mean, you own a dental studio, and you're sitting over there with perfect teeth, saying that you learned something.
Yes, everybody else is learning.
It's a learning experience. You know, you're never too old to learn.
Yes,
exactly.
But listen, I think that were you guys talking about your educational programs and so on? I've been talking to Kevin for quite a while, and every time we have a conversation, he always talks about the culture in Guyana and so on. What are you guys doing to change the culture of dental hygiene? I mean, during the pandemic, people were wearing masks and you weren't dealing with the offensive breath odor. And now you're not wearing masks, it's popping up again. And generally, people wait until there's pain to come to see the dentist. What can we do to change the culture? What do you suggest? What advice do you have for people?
So because we're so reactive, programs like this that is educative, radio, television, we have radio,
social media.
We have social media as well, and we also advertise on radio.
On the radio,
right? So
I guess we can do more outreach.
Right.
You know, more
Outreaches and
more educational programs, maybe.
Just more awareness, basically.
Yeah, I think it has to be like a real national push. People don't think it's that big of an issue, but when you go to the Chelly Jagan Dental School, you see the number of people sitting there all day. It's like, wow, this is a real reactive situation.
We had Oral Health Month last month, March, and there was a lot of outreaches. We had they had the Ministry of Health with Chelly Jagan Dental Center. I know they had an outreach at Massey.
Okay. Oh, wow. All right, then. We're definitely going to have more conversations on oral hygiene because it's very, very important. We want to be more proactive about our dental and our oral health rather than reactive. I'm Martina Johnson, and yes, somebody asking me about these flowers in my hair. It's Easter, people. We are in the Easter
in my
vibe.
hair, Martina's.
Yes, and these are our floral bandanas. We're feeling it. And
she's feeling it.
We're going to say good night here from the studios at EduFM, signing out the Women Empowerment Program. Good night.
Bye.
Awesome.